are showing their anger by withdrawing their presence and allowing crime to escalate. Okay? So it's coming to a point, it's not going to get better, it's going to get worse. And if we don't start thinking in terms of how are we going to police our own community and build that economic base to where we can support young and upcoming rappers and they don't have to look for outside money. Okay? Because the internet has leveled the playing field.
Right.
All right? They took Mary Ellen Hicks off KKDA, but now there are blog talk radios all over the internet. Absolutely. So why we can't have a radio program that's just dedicated to positive local rappers and turn our children on to that? You know, and you don't have to, as brother said, consciousness ain't cool, but you gotta start where they are. And then slip that message in there.
Right.
Just slip it in there.
Right.
Slip it in there. Because when Public Enemy first came out, they started talking about my 98 Oldsmobile. I didn't know what they talking about.
Right.
You understand? But once they got their foot in there, then they came out with the second album.
Right.
Dropped it.
Right.
It was in now. So you have to, you just have to drop it in there, okay? So that's where we are, beloved. We are feeling the effects of a people who are tired of carrying us.
Yeah.
Okay? Because we beg for what we need. We buy what we want.
Yes.
That's real.
That's real. And we crying out for justice. Now, the truth of the matter is, Mayor Giuliani, when he said 75% of all murders that take place among black people is at the hands of other black people, he did not lie, beloved. That's real. So the minister said our war is on two fronts. We got to stop the killing among ourselves, and we got to stop the killing from coming outside. Right. So we have to have, and I'm going to say this because, when I say this, I like to look in people's faces when I say this. When I start talking about unity, some people look at me like, yeah, good luck with that one. Okay? But the truth of the matter is, if Frederick Douglass says, power concedes nothing without a demand. But you're not going to get nothing that you demand if you don't have no power backing that. That's right. And if those who have colonized our community don't see unity among us as a people, then they will continue to rob us. And so I believe God is forcing us to unite. That's right. Forcing it for our survival's sake. See, when two people get a divorce, beloved, they get a divorce because they have division. DI means two. Vision. So you got one vision, I got another vision. You looking at this way, I'm looking at this way, and we don't see the common denominator. And that's why we divided as a people. Okay? But we have to understand that we all not gonna get along. We're gonna disagree. Me and my wife don't agree with everything I say. My mama don't agree with everything I say, but I still love my mama. You understand? So we have to get to that point now. If we're going to march to Washington, and we're going to say justice or else. I'm going to say this from the Holy Quran, okay? 2 verses from the Holy Quran. In Surah 8, before the Muslims went into battle, Prophet Muhammad received a revelation. It was 300 Muslims against 1,000 Quraysh. They were totally outnumbered, right? But they won the war. But they won the war because of this. 2 things that Allah revealed to the prophet. Number 1, he said, before you go into battle, settle your differences. Right. Then he said, don't argue with one another unless your power depart from you. Right. So in other words, if I just got through arguing with my brother, right? I hate you, you hate me and I don't care, and now we got to go fight. Right. I can't put my back to his back because I don't trust him and he don't trust me. See? So that's why 20 years ago, Minister Farrakhan called a 1,000,000-man march. And if you just saw it, that was a glimpse of heaven. Because there was no fighting. People, man, before I went to that march, God honest truth, people say, man, you get that many black people together, something gonna go down.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fight, it's gonna be chaos, but it was peace.
Yeah.
Because we went under the theme of atonement, responsibility, reconciliation, and fathers who had not seen their sons reconciled. See? And brothers actually wept. Will Smith, my post was, God honest truth, I was in front of the monument. And the monument, the Washington Monument is on a hill. So I can look over the hill and I can see buses coming and people walking up the hill. And when they come over the hill, they can look down and see this sea of black men. So I see Will Smith and other famous people walk over that hill and break down crying. Because they've never seen nothing like that before. See? So after that, what happened from the Million Man March was we wanted to create a third political force, right? Because Democrats have promised us and have failed to deliver. Republicans now, Ron Paul, I was reading in the Final Call, Ron Paul just had a meeting and he quotes Malcolm X, trying to get black people to vote Republican. Well, you have to do more than quote Malcolm X to get black folk to vote Republican. Okay? But my point is that we need a third political force, and that's what came out of that, because we had a convention in St. Louis where we came up with a national agenda. And we wanted to present this national agenda to both parties and say, look, if you want my vote, this is what we want. But the problem is that in the past, we haven't asked for anything tangible.
Yeah. Right. Right.
A. Philip Randolph marched, when he marched in the 30s, it was 40s, it was jobs and justice.
Yeah.
When King marched in the 60s, it was we want jobs and justice. Then they had a anniversary of the march. Guess what? Jobs and justice.
Yeah.
Here it is, 2015. We still asking for jobs and justice. Why? Because we asking for the wrong thing.
Right.
We're not asking for some earth, some land that we can call our own, that we have control over, the means of production, and we can employ our own people, and we can do what other nationalities come over here and do, and get a piece of what you call the American pie. So when people say black folk been here for 400 years, and Irish just came over here yesterday, and Mexican just came over here yesterday, and German just came over here yesterday, and they got their own businesses, and you know, they say, well, I came over here with nothing. Lie.
Right.
You ain't come over here with nothing. You came over here with a sense of identity, number one, and tradition, and you still got connections with your people back home. We have none of that. See? So in this I'm about to close, y'all. Y'all okay? I'm not gonna. We going back to white as a united front. The black people, we got to voice our discomfort. The brown has to voice their discomfort. Every people that has some grievance with this government, we asking, or saying rather, justice or else. Because we're tired of our babies dying and nothing happens. You know, justice is not somebody getting fired. It's not justice. Because that ain't going to bring that baby back. You understand? Administrative leave ain't justice. So when we go to Washington, Minister Farrakhan said, and by the way, sister, this is not a march. Because marching ain't never solved none of our problems. Okay? This is the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March. We are going under the theme of justice or else. Now, I'm going to just get to the or else part, okay? Because when I say that, people say, well, what is the or else part? Beloved, the or else is for us to decide.
That's right.
Okay? Because if you present truth, and the natural response of truth is justice, and after you present your truth and you don't get justice, then what do you do? We have to decide whether we're going to keep begging for justice. Because I'm going to tell you who has the power to give us justice if we go after it. It's our Creator.
Right.
Okay? It's the one that's sending the hurricanes and the tornadoes that travel the same route that the slave ships traveled and come right up through Florida and turn this country up. He has the power to give us justice, but it's something that we have to decide. We have to decide whether we want to continue to live under tyranny and oppression. Do we want another generation to suffer what we suffer? Do we want our grandchildren to be having meetings like this talking about, man, you hear what happened in McKinney last week?
Right.
Seriously?
Right.
We the only people that protest, y'all.
That's right.
Yes.
Jewish people don't protest.
Nope.
You know why they don't protest? Because they got an economic base.
Absolutely.
And they can, when they put a demand before Congress, they can back that up with a threat. But they're united. They're united. And so we have to go as a solid wall, as a solid force, and we have to say justice or else. If they don't give it to us, y'all, we got to make a decision. Because Malcolm said, if you want justice, take it. If you're a man, oh, I heard somebody say this. I said, if you're a man, take it. And brother mentioned, you know, what is this going to come down to? If we keep asking you for justice, I mean, what are you trying to provoke us to do?
Right. They know it's coming. Right.
What are you trying to provoke us to do? Because it's getting hotter and hotter. I'm going to tell y'all, those babies in Palestine that strap bombs to themselves and blow themselves up, do you know Elijah Muhammad say, when you're under injustice for a long period of time, it unbalances your mind. And you begin to do things that seem irrational, but you have reached a breaking point because your nature cries out for justice.